You're live, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, thank you so much. So, City Attorney Barrow, do you have an announcement about the closed
Yes,
session?
Mayor. Earlier this afternoon, the City Council went into closed session to discuss the items identified on the agenda. There was no reportable action taken. It'd be appropriate to continue the adjourned regular meeting to immediately after our 6 o'clock session.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. So we'll adjourn the closed session and come to our regular meeting here Tuesday, July 2nd, 6 p.m. And could we please have the pledge to the flag? We've got a very special guest who's going to do this. His name is Hawk Dill. So, Mr. Dill, can you and your mom come up, please?
I guess so, yeah. Wait for your mom, wait for all of us.
Okay, now, no break dancing like you did in that video I saw.
I know.
Okay, so I'll put this up for you so you can go ahead. And, so what do we do? Put your right hand over your heart.
Right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the green republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, man, that was terrific. Well done. Yes, we can give a round of applause for that. So let's learn about this young man, Hawk Dill, and his mom, Star Dill. All right. So what grade are you in?
I'm turning to first grade.
Turning to first grade. And which school are you in?
Robinson.
Robinson. Terrific. I think we got some Robinson fans here. Look at that.
Go Dolphins!
Great. And what are the plans for the summer before the big first grade begins?
Camp.
Any particular camp?
Beach camp, Stephen Cates.
And surfing? Well, you already know how to surf, right?
I'm practicing.
So does your dad help with the surfing?
Yes, and another friend, Dad.
Oh, that's terrific. Okay, well, we want to thank you for leading the pledge today. It's very important, and I knew you were the man for the job. So what I want to present to you is a certificate of recognition presented by my colleagues here at City Council to Hawk Dill for leading the City Council and the community in the Pledge of Allegiance. So thank you so much for that. And, yep. And then we're going to go ahead and give you one of our city pins as well, since you did such a great job.
So much. Thanks so much.
You're welcome. Oh, wait, photographs. Oh, wait a minute. I've just forgot one thing. Let's line up for the photos. And Star, can you just tell us a few words about Hawk?
Well, Hawk is a longtime resident of Manhattan Beach. He has lived here his entire 6 years of life. He is a boy with long hair. He wanted you guys to know. I think they already know. He's a great kid. I think you can expect wonderful things from him. He has a heart of gold and is just, we love him and he's so special.
And we'll mention I've known him since he was born. So he's a great kid.
Yeah, let's get in here. Sure. Let's get the picture. Yeah? No, that's perfect. Yeah, get mom up there. There we go. Okay, everybody, okay, we move in.
Another one's looking at you.
Thank you.
Well done.
I didn't even realize I was so close to that.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Just save it for Thursday. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, this is fun.
Just sit around and get some more fun.
Well, I've said it many times to his parents. I want to be Hawk when I grow up.
A cutie.
Okay, so could we have roll call, please?
Councilmember Lesser?
Here.
Councilmember Napolitano?
Here.
Councilmember Montgomery?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Haworth?
Here.
Mayor Franklin?
Here. And we are on to the ceremonial calendar. We have a presentation of a commendation to Finance Director Steve Charelian on the occasion of his retirement after 35 years of service to the city of Manhattan Beach. I turned it off. So.
All right. So, Steve, 35 years here at the city. You were talking a little bit earlier today. Steve and I started in 1989 together. I came in May, you came in July. And from the start, Steve was really the kind of guy who distinguished himself from other employees. He brought enthusiasm, still has it today, still that youthful smile. But he just kind of lights up a room when he comes in. And he's so, as I said a few weeks back, he's always willing to jump in and take on additional responsibilities and duties. So when I started thinking about Steve back in 1989 and forward, there are a few things that stick out in my mind. And one of them was that Steve was instrumental in all of our location filming around the city of Manhattan Beach. Of course, the studios were built in the late 90s over here off Rosecrans, and CSI Miami was one of the shows that were filmed there. And they would come out, and you only use Pollywog Park or anywhere in the city a number of times. And, of course, we have a film permitting requirement. And Steve was instrumental in setting that up, and he would work with these different production companies. He knew how to keep them in line so that our residents weren't bothered by the activity, that everybody remained safe. And I remember you had the big CSI Miami sign up behind your desk, but you were the go-to guy and the kind of our Hollywood rock star here, allowing all the filming in town. Steve was also known among the employees as being somebody you could go to and say, Steve, I need a new car. Can you help me negotiate the price? Right? Am I right? Henry did. Henry did it a couple or three times, I know. And it was just like he'd hand you his checkbook, and then he'd go off, and you'd crank and crank and crank, and they'd squeal and sell the car to you. It was amazing. So several years back, this is probably 2008, I want to say, when Sherry Moreland left. So Steve really wanted to be the revenue services manager, and he was the next person in line below Sherry. And, at that point, I don't think I knew you as well as I do now, but I thought, I'm not sure if Steve's ready yet. And Steve, being the social guy that he is and the closer that he is, he invites me to Il Fornaio for a happy hour. So we sit there, and by the end of 45 minutes and, a couple glasses of wine, a few margarita pizzas, Steve had me convinced because he brought so many qualities. He brought the enthusiasm, and again, that, give me a nice assignment, I'll run with it. He just always was there on the spot to get things done. But it was that enthusiasm, that intangible thing that you can't necessarily learn. It's just part of Steve's personality that really sold it. And I never looked back. And so when it came time to find my replacement as finance director, Steve was the logical choice. And he's never disappointed me. He's never let me down because he's always there, ready to step up and say, put me in, coach. I'm ready to play, whatever it takes. As you always said, another shrimp on the Barbie. But as I said at your going away party, Steve, I think you're going on to this next chapter here, which of course includes RC, Knox, and Chase. You're a family guy all the way. I've known that about you from the day I met you. And you guys will be lucky to have him around a little bit more now. And of course, you're not going to be far, and you'll bring the family by and stop in and have some lunch with us and all the good things like that. So, I want to congratulate you, Steve. Thank you for all your dedication and hard work, and thank you for the personal relationship that we've had that has made us successful. And by the way, I'm totally ignoring all the great work he did in terms of pension obligation bonds and AAA credit rating, all these things. He did an amazing job, and you should be proud of that. I'm proud of you, and I wish you luck.
So were we going to have anybody else?
Have them first, we should go last. Have them first, we should. Yeah, have them first, we go last.
Okay. Anybody else want to say a few words for Steve? Okay. And I think we got the presentation here. couple of things. If I could have some help here, Mayor Pro Tem, that would be great. Right there.
City pens. City pens. Now, do you want to read some of this?
Oh,
Some
okay.
of it. You can
Yeah.
paraphrase.
Yeah. Well, this is basically an IOU collecting. No. So it's a certificate of commendation from the City Council and the residents of Manhattan Beach. And here's a magnificent list of your accomplishments. And we therefore be it resolved that the City Council, on behalf of the residents of the City of Manhattan Beach, does hereby present this commendation to Steve Charelian. So thank you so much for all that you did with the city.
Oh, it's for me. Wait, I need my glasses. This is actually the City of Rolling Hills Estate wants to recognize you for your 35 years of service and recognition. The City of Torrance, were you moonlighting? Were you working? I mean, okay, there you go. But it is important that we are a South Bay community and excellence recognizes excellence. Oh, the school district, Steve Charelian. Okay, did you negotiate that joint use agreement? I mean, okay, all right. Keep it rolling. What?
Good job.
Oh, here. Steve, David. What? So they give me a hard time, but then they don't want to step up. Okay, all right, fine, I got you. Give it, take it. City of Gardena and Steve Napolitano. There you go. I'm not going to do any more. Here we go. Okay, all right, gosh darn it. City of Rancho Palos Verdes for Steve Charelian. Now, you do have room in your house, RC, right? And frames ready, okay? Do you guys somebody else want to come do the state senate?
Because you want.
All right, so the state senate from California, Senator Ben Allen, our state senator from his office. This is really, I've never seen this at one of our meetings, and this is true in all seriousness. The California State Treasurer, Fiona Ma, recognizes Steve Charelian. Right? Okay. Our Congressman, Ted Lieu, sends his regards. Oh, this is so cool. I've never seen this one either. This is the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department to Steve Charelian, Director of Finance, for your outstanding leadership. So you have touched not just all of us and the residents in our town, but obviously been a presence in the county and has been recognized by state leaders, and it is so well deserved and well earned. And I don't want to belabor this. You have done excellent work with your whole heart, and you've even convinced some of my colleagues that they were wrong, I've been told, but I'll let them tell you. But I just want to say how much we have trusted your judgment and how much that has meant to all of us in our community, because there's numbers on a page, but they tell a story, and you have helped us understand that story and write the story for our community. So thank you so much. Not sure what I'm supposed to do with this. You know how dangerous it is. Give me a mic, Steve.
We'll get between a politician and a microphone. All right, it's been 35 years for Stephen. It's been 35 years for Bruce as well. He's going to be leaving us in a few weeks. And I try and learn something new every day. And after 35 years, I learned that it just takes a happy hour to get Bruce to do anything. If I had known that years ago, we could have accomplished so much more. But in the meantime, Stephen, and we had a little employee get-together to wish Steve farewell and good wishes about a week or so ago, and a lot of things were said then, and I just want my colleagues here want to speak as well, of course, and I just want to say, Steve, as a friend, we've shared a lot of thoughts together and dedication to this city, and and that thing about being wrong and changing gears. We've had so many great discussions over the years where I think we've pushed each other to get outside the norm and our comfort zones, and I think the results have been very good. You've gotten a number of things passed that have put this city on a financial foundation that is going to be just, it's going to keep us in good stead, especially our recent vote on the storm drain. That's going to get us 20 years of good budgets. And now we need to address our CIP, and you've set us up for that, and I appreciate that as well. But speaking more to the person, you know, as I said the other day, I think that the good folks who work in any institution, especially here at the city, are the ones who leave the place better than how they found it. And Steve, you've done an amazing job here. You're leaving Manhattan Beach in a better place than you found it. As finance director, as all the positions you held before, but just as a dedicated employee who bleeds Manhattan Beach. There are really, you can't look for a better employee than someone who just believes in what they're doing, and you believed in what you were doing. And so we wish you the best going forward. And I don't know why I picked this up, but you got a volleyball plaque here that, I don't know, we'll find cemented on the pier somehow, somewhere. Thanks again, brother.
Thank you.
It's hard to add to that. I simply wanted to echo everything that my colleagues have said. You've been the steady hand at the wheel, and all of us who are residents and have businesses in the city are the better for it. You've been the person that I could go to and get a straight answer. And some of the questions were not always easy. What really should we as policymakers prioritize? And you would tell it straight, you would give us the numbers to back it up, and I think you helped, certainly me, and I think all of us move forward as a community and remain stable as we have. So I don't have much in the way of swag, other than I'm noticing that your city pin is an earlier model. So I want to give you finally your own city pin if you don't have one already.
You gotta give them one of the two things left there.
What do they say? But wait, there's more. This is from Malia M. Cohen, the California State Controller. Congratulations. Thank you. Anything else? I think that's it. Anybody else? Richard?
All right. Before I give Steve his well-wrapped gift here, no, it's not a surfboard. Something you don't know about Steve, because no one mentioned it. In 2008 and 2009, we had the Great Recession. Remember that? He was second in command behind Bruce back then. So he went through one major event in our city, watching what it would took in case something bad happened. So fast forward, he's finance director, and what happens? COVID. So guess who gets all the what the hell do we have to do? Gloves. Remember those days? Gloves, the alcohol swab things, everything, gowns, everything we need to do. He was the man to go to. We didn't know. He and Lisa, we didn't know what to do. We thought it'd be over in 6 months, right? We all thought it'd be over quickly, back to normal. No. And then we spend $1 million plus of our own money, and Steve is the guy kind of clawed back from the Fed to this day. We got some of it back. We have like more than $800,000 to go, but Steve's done a great job clawing it back. But those things no one knows about because you don't see him every day. Unless you're talking to him, understand what happens when he's here every day. 3 days a week, council meetings, and Steve is the one, hey, we got to have this, we got to get this, we got this done. We're going to keep all the expenses. Steve goes back to the Fed trying to get our money back from us. And he knows I'm on him, how much they owe us still, how much they're paying us back. But all the things you don't see behind the scenes, just the guy that made it happen with Bruce and learned from Howard Fishman and risk management and Henry Mitzner from the old finance days. But it's a long succession of leaders here in finance. You don't see them all. All the work goes unheralded, but we know what they do. So a big thank you. And thank you for the extra print you just bought there. But thank you, Steve, for all you've done for us. And a parting gift, I won't tell you what it is. It'll probably go in Knox's bedroom, but I won't tell you what's going inside of it. But thank you from all of us for all things no one knows you do, but we do, brother. So congrats to you. Thanks. Mayor Franklin.
Oh, yeah, let's see. Let's see, and colleagues, we can start coming together here.
Throw caution to the wind.
We spared no expense.
Check out the wrapping paper.
Oh, yeah, the wrapping paper.
Oh, and it's the plans. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. How cool is that? Oh, man. So I assume, is that from Public Works? So that's from all the folks at Public Works and Eric Lee and
So cool.
everybody there. Wow. And we're going to add that to Google Maps, right? It's going to appear on Google Map. Okay, so let's get you in the middle, and then we'll surround you. And
Do you want to say anything?
I'm so sorry.
Just a little something. Thank you, Mayor.
You got that all right? Yeah. Yep.
Well, first and foremost, thank you all for being here. There's so many of you. I see city staff. I see old elected officials and friends and family. I appreciate it. I think Steve Napolitano's thinking, hey, I got Steve on that volleyball. Maybe I can scratch it out and put Napolitano. Where's Mark? Maybe Mark could help out. He's like, I'm halfway there. Now I had to just write it down because I didn't want to forget anything. So today marks a significant moment in my life as I bid farewell to my career in municipal finance. It has been an incredible ride filled with challenges, accomplishments, and most importantly, meaningful relationships that have shaped my professional and personal growth. When I first embarked on this path as municipal employee, I never imagined the profound impact it would have on me. Over the years, I've had the privilege to work alongside dedicated colleagues who share a commitment to fiscal responsibility and a well-being of our community. Together, we successfully manage budgetary constraints through strategic long-term financial planning, navigating challenges like the Great Recession, a generational pandemic, and economic uncertainties, and we did that with diligence and creativity. I am deeply grateful to the elected officials and city manager who entrusted me with the responsibility to steward our municipal finances over the last 6 years. Your support and guidance have been invaluable, guiding us through fiscal challenges and enabling us to achieve sustainable growth. To my team, past, present, I thank you for your hard work, expertise, and unwavering dedication. It has been an honor to lead such a talented group of individuals who consistently demonstrated a commitment to excellence and a passion for public service. Our collaborative efforts have not only strengthened our financial standing, but have also contributed to the betterment of our community through exceptional service. To the residents, businesses, and taxpayers, I am grateful for your trust and confidence. Your engagement and feedback have been instrumental in shaping our financial policies and decisions. Serving your needs has been the driving force behind every budget crafted and every financial plan implemented. As I transition into my next chapter in life, I carry with me cherished memories and invaluable experiences. While my role as finance director concludes, my commitment to our community remains steadfast. I look forward to continuing to contribute in new capacities and supporting the ongoing prosperity of our municipality. Lastly, I extend my heartfelt thanks to my wife, RC, and 2 sons, Knox and Chase, along with my family members here, friends, and loved ones, for their unwavering support and understanding throughout this journey. Your encouragement has sustained me during challenging times and made every achievement that much more meaningful. In closing, I leave with a profound sense of gratitude for the privilege of serving as City Manhattan Beach employee for the past 35 years. The lessons learned and relationships forged will forever hold a special place in my heart. Thank you all for this incredible opportunity and for being part of my remarkable journey. This isn't goodbye, but a see you later. I'll leave it at that. Maybe we could do one and then they can come in.
Okay.
Well, by the time
You gonna hold your sign up in front of me?
No.
Yes,
There you go.
Yeah.
I think it's so cool. Very jealous.
Sure?
Yeah, it'd be very, you know what?
You
I
want the
am
sign?
set.
You want the sign?
Oh, you're a person.
Watch
Watch
out.
Absolutely.
Grab a hold of that baby. That's gonna go in your room.
Very cool. Perfect. Get our seat.
Yeah. Come on, RC.
Look up.
Yeah. There you go.
There we go.
Oh.
Got it?
That was great.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
You have room for that sign?
That sounded awesome.
right, Steve, we'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you. Yeah.
It's going to be in your room tonight, buddy. Don't worry. It's going to be in your room, Knox.
That's awesome. Honestly, I think he got the best going away gifts.
Oh, that is incredible.
The sign, the volleyball.
That was fun.
He deserves it.
If I had to choose between the two.
Don't get teary like that.
Yeah, they're
Handshake and a
awesome.
kick in the pants.
Well done, Public
Pretty good.
Works.
Okay. That was great. Thank you all. And so moving on to E, approval of agenda and waiver of full reading of ordinances.
So moved, Your Honor.
Okay.
Second.
So we've got,
Oh, I thought I had
thought we did
seconded.
already.
I had seconded, but, so now it's, doesn't
Okay.
matter. Whatever we got.
so we've got a motion by Councilmember Lesser and seconded by Councilmember Napolitano.
Motion passes 5-0.
Okay. City Council and Community Organization announcements of upcoming events, 1 minute per person. Just make your way up. Who's ever on deck, just come on down. So you can be ready.
Hi, good evening, Mayor, members of the council. My name is Josh Murray. I'm here on behalf of Manhattan Beach Library. I would like to remind the community that we will be closed this Thursday, July 4th, for Independence Day holiday, and we will reopen on Friday, July 5th at 10 a.m. Also in celebration of Independence Day, tomorrow, July 3rd at 4:30 p.m., everyone is invited to a very special performance of Johnny Cash Americana music. Michael J. presents his live Johnny Cash Americana music program with his singing partner and bass player Leticia Blumet. Come hear the roots of Johnny Cash's music with songs and stories that inspired his music. And this event is for all ages, and registration is now available on our website, lacountylibrary.org, and I thank you for your time.
Great. Thank you, Josh. Next.
Honorable Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, City Council members, city officials, Mr. Lee. I wrote it down because I get flustered when I'm up here. My name is Bobby Bell. I'm the recycling educator dedicated to Manhattan Beach for WM, previously known as Waste Management. I got a few quick announcements. Just wanted to give you an update. A couple Saturdays ago, we did our paper shred. It went off smoothly. We served over 250 Manhattan Beach residents. Everything was great. Everybody was happy. Again, thank you to the chief for supplying the volunteer police department and for Mr. Lee's department for organizing the venue for us to do it at. Next announcement, in observance of the 4th of July holiday, there will be no collection on Thursday the 4th. If your service falls that day or after, your service will be delayed by 1 day for that holiday week. And lastly, we'd like to remind all the residents of our upcoming backyard composting class. It'll be Saturday, July 13th from 10 to 11. It is held at the Manhattan Beach Botanical Gardens, which is located on the west end of Pollywog Park. All residents are invited to come out and learn how well, for lack of a better word, sorry, they can learn how to create natural fertilizer for their at-home gardens and our curbside organics program. Discounted worm bins and compost bins are available on site, and they're available year-round by calling Waste Management at 310-830-7100. Once again, that's 310-830-7100. Hoping you guys have a great 4th of July. Be safe. Have a blessed evening.
Perfect. Thank you, Bobby.
The happiest trash guy I know.
Oh, right. How do I follow that?
This is always picking up.
Yeah, oh, that was good.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and City Council Member David Archer, Manhattan Beach Chamber of Commerce. I just have a few things to mention to you. We have our annual holiday mixer in the park at Chevron Park on July 11th. You're all welcome to join us there at 5:30. We have our upcoming Mayor's Lunch and quasi State of the City, as well as the board installation lunch at Tin Roof Bistro on August 7th at 11:30 to 1:30. Hope you guys can join us there. And also we have a power lunch and networking on the hidden secrets of service encounter management. And that'll be at UNITA on August 8th for lunch, 11:30 to 1. So look forward to seeing you there. Have a happy and safe 4th of July. The chamber will be closed on the 4th of July, so we will see you on the 5th. Have a good evening.
Great. Thank you, David.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, council members, and members of the public. Talene Mirzakhanian, Community Development Director. On behalf of the Community Development Department and the Public Works Departments, I would like to advise the community that on Monday, June 24th, the city closed off the third level of Parking Lot 3, which is on the corner of Morningside and 12th Street. Recently, during a routine inspection, structural issues were identified related to the third level that require a more specialized review. Because safety is our top priority, the third level will remain closed until further assessment can be conducted. In order to address the parking deficiency resulting from this closure, city staff has been working hard to secure alternative parking spaces for use by the general public during the busy summer season. After reaching out to several property owners, staff has secured 55 parking spaces from MBUSD at Pacific Elementary School through at a minimum August 5th and is finalizing a daily shuttle service between Pacific Elementary School on the corner of Pacific Avenue and 17th Street and downtown Manhattan Beach. The shuttle will run between Pacific Elementary School and 2 fixed stops in downtown, 10th Street and Manhattan Avenue, and City Hall, with pickup drop-off occurring approximately every 20 minutes during the following operational hours: Monday through Thursday, 1 p.m. to 9 p.m., Friday through Sunday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. 5-hour parking limits will be enforced, and parking shuttle use will be free of charge. We are striving to commence this operation on Monday, July 8th. Staff continues to pursue additional parking and shuttle opportunities for the remainder of the summer season. We urge you to visit www.manhattanbeach.gov/Lot 3 for updates regarding the closure and alternative parking options. Thank you.
Great.
Question, Your Honor?
Thank you. Yes. Yeah.
So who's running the shuttle?
We've outsourced it.
Okay, who's paying for the shuttle?
The city.
And this came to council when?
Right now. It actually doesn't require council approval financially speaking. And of course, this has been all done in a very short notice. And so we're pulling out all the stops to accommodate as much parking as we possibly can.
Well, how much does it cost?
It's roughly $50,000 for about 8 weeks of service.
I'd like it to come back to council.
We can talk about that at the end,
All right.
of course, and then I have some comments, Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
I think we were all told that this was going to, not the shuttle piece, about Lot 3. And then I just want to commend staff for moving so quickly. We met with Jill Lampkin from the Downtown Business Association right away, because this is, especially for the businesses down there, such a huge ordeal, an issue, and there's been a lot of partnership going on. I was very pleased to hear that the school district was, opening up Pacific School for those spots, especially the employees. That's a good collaboration there. I also know that there were so many emails flying back and forth between staff, between Jill. Hey, do you know so-and-so? Do you know if they have a parking lot? Do you know, hey, I know somebody over on Rosecrans. I mean, the ideas were flying back and forth. Doesn't mean there aren't better ideas out there. And to that, I want to say, if you have a parking lot or, an empty parking lot in Manhattan Beach, and you would like to help us out, please contact somebody at the city. The shuttle, I am sure that there are other solutions going forward. We can obviously talk at the end if we want to put it on the agenda for, a more sustained effort. But I would have to say that the way staff worked, all day Thursday, Friday, all through the weekend, from Public Works inspecting, they've been doing regular inspections of the facility, to saying this top level is not safe for people. Thank you, to Community Development and everybody for just working so hard. It was really, impressive, and I have to say Jill Lampkin was very much a part of that and very appreciative of the efforts. So thank you.
Great. Thank you. Any other questions? No? Okay. Thank you. Next.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, members of the City Council. Andrew Enriquez, your captain for field operations for the police department. I just wanted to take this moment to invite the public, as well as yourselves, to our next community event, which is Cones with a Cop, on Wednesday, July 10th from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. at the Handel's Homemade Ice Cream Shop, 3300 North Sepulveda Boulevard. We'll be out there providing a free scoop of ice cream, and you can come meet all the employees that we have at the police department. So I encourage everyone to show up. Thank you.
Great. Thank you.
Excuse me, Captain. I'm sorry, I'm jumping ahead. You go ahead.
No, you go ahead with this because I had another question, but go ahead.
Mine was not intended to be a serious question. It was just that you say all the police department, are they going to come on their off time because there's free ice cream?
That's a possibility.
Thank you, Captain.
Okay, and I was going to ask, could you remind us of the holiday of July 4th is coming up, and are there what are the rules surrounding fireworks in our city?
We do not allow fireworks in the city, so we will be open on 4th of July.
The police have to work. Okay.
Police department will be open on 4th of July. That includes our jail. So if you are breaking the law in town,
I'm out of town. I'm
planning to visit.
I'm going to Pasadena, so I'm good. But
perfect. But
okay,
no,
but
we do not allow fireworks in town. We understand, and I hope the public understands. We do prioritize calls. Calls for life, preservation of life, will take the highest of priorities, but we will prioritize the calls and respond. Some of the response times may not be to everyone's expectation. If you are calling about something that is not top of the priority list and we have other things going on. But we are aware that fireworks will be going off at various parts in the South Bay, and we will respond as best we can to the calls that are within Manhattan Beach.
I have a question. Are any type of fireworks are illegal, even when the so-called safe and sane?
The city of Manhattan Beach does not allow safe and sane fireworks. We have zero fireworks allowed in the city.
Okay.
Even know that was a
Thank
thing.
you. Great. Thank you, Captain. Anybody else?
Good evening, Mayor Franklin and council members. I'm Gilbert Gamboa, Principal Civil Engineer, and I'm here to give a friendly community update on the pier railing replacement project. I wanted to touch base real quick with a bit of background questions that we usually get is how long have the railings been there, the existing ones? So did a little research, with help of Jan Dennis. They are circa early 80s, early mid to 80s was the style that we see out there with the four rails and the seafoam green color. And my best guess is the seafoam green color came then into existence to match as you see in the photo, to match the former roundhouse back then. The pictures you see here were from the 1991 renovation. Wow. So we're looking at a 40-year-old rails. I brought some samples here of the before and after. We have a mock-up that we presented to City Council.
Wow.
So you can see some of the deterioration.
Existing rail, in case you couldn't tell.
Yeah. So the pier's about 928 feet long. It's got about over 2,000 linear feet of railing out there that needed to be, that was deteriorated over the 40 years. And basically the complexity of the engineering, as far as engineering, was balancing the maintenance and the character-defining features, including that seafoam green color, and trying to get a material that will last a little bit longer than what we had out there. So we went with an aluminum metal there. It's got a Kynar coating, so it's kind of a baked-on process there with that seafoam green custom color on that end of it. So it should give us a long-lasting railing out on the pier. And then here you see the after. So this is some of the installation the contractor's done. He's completed almost the entire pier there, the round end, the straightaway runway. And then the remaining work is just the base entrance of the pier by the lifeguard tower on that end of it, and some of the staircase railing, and then the gates. So as far as construction schedule update, the remaining work will be done throughout the rest of the month of July. And like I said, that includes the railing installation at the base entrance of the pier and adjacent to the bike path. The staircase railing on the north and south sides, it's a little bit more intricate, so that's coming along. And then the entrance gates will be the last thing that comes into play, and then we'll meeting inside with in-house with maintenance staff to go over the new sign installation, so we can get some of our information signs and our regulatory signs back out there in play on that end of it. And then punch list items will follow. So the main goal is to finish it this month by the end of July, and that way we are ahead of the volleyball tournaments that we're known for. So that's my update today. So.
Great, that's terrific. I have to say, when I was told it was only going to take a couple of weeks to do it, I was very dubious, but it is an ingenious design, and it was well executed, so well done.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I have a question. Gil, would you mind, if people don't know, when did you start the process first? How many groups did you need to get approval from before you began?
Good question. So we started probably talking about this back in, well, I mean, throughout there, but probably about 2019, 2020 to go through the multiple jurisdictions. So when you do work on the pier, you come into play with the California Coastal Commission. You have the Beaches and Harbor, LA County, and then technically the state is the owner of the pier. So it's the State Department of Parks and Rec that we have to go through approval process. So they have their own plan check process similar to ours, so we go through theirs. And then what other federal agencies will get involved for their permit processes as well through the California Coastal Commission.
I asked that question, colleagues, and the public, because in all in the middle of COVID, you know what the number one question was? When are we going to fix our pier? Seriously, during all of COVID, they wanted to know when we can fix it. In their mind, that was a high priority to fix the pier railings. They were concerned about that. So now we know the answer. It took us 4 years to get here, but the right way. Everybody knows about it, done the right way, and we found a good solution. So thank you. Nothing further, Your Honor.
Great.
Yes. No one here complained about it in 2020 is now talking about it now.
Anybody else? Community announcement?
Yes, hi.
Yeah.
Rita Crabtree-Kumpa. I just wanted to give a big kudos to the City Council in previous years. Hired a dedicated housing navigator service contracted through Harbor Interface Services. And in the last couple of weeks, we have had people move out of the share housing, which the city was helping pay for, and into their own apartments. And we have a family of 7 with a 6-month-old that was moved out. We have a couple of 2 that moved into an apartment. And I want to give kudos to Myra, who is our housing navigator from Harbor Interfaith Services. She does amazing work, collaborates with everybody throughout the county, throughout her agency and throughout other agencies. I also wanted to give a big shout out to the community in general who has answered the call to supply furnishings and everything else these people have needed to support their apartments. Thanks.
Great. Thank you, Rita.
Your Honor, can I make a comment about that?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Hey, George here. George, thank you, because we finally got the counts from LA County. And for years, we fought LA County on the numbers. I typically kept hammering them because they used fake adjustments that were not supported. We had 41 people, Steve, in 2017, if I remember correctly, down to 7 on our last count. And now the last count, we have 24. They show 4.
Our raw count reflected 2 individuals and 2 improvised dwellings, as they referred to it as, which was 2 cars.
So we're getting almost to where reality is starting to sink in and what our numbers actually are. But thank you for following up on that. That's a huge kudos to staff and to to the navigating system, and everyone else did a good job. Make sure now we're talking real numbers, no more inflated numbers anymore, which is good. So thank you, Your Honor. Nothing else.
Great. And I'll just remind folks, you can report any homeless contact with the city's app called Reach Manhattan Beach. And it's very helpful. When you press that submit button, an email is sent directly to the aforementioned Myra and the police department, and it really is an efficient way to help these people to get off the street. So, okay, and then colleagues, any other comments? Okay. Oh, so I just have one. I just wanted to thank the Parks and Recreation Commission, Parks and Recreation Department, Public Works for what I'm calling the flags across the Strand. So if you haven't been down there, there are now 30 large flags on very long poles. It's very dramatic down on the Strand right off of the crosswalk at Pier Plaza. So go down there, take a look. They'll be up for the 4th of July and any other, major patriotic holiday. So thank you all very much. Okay, moving on to public comment. Whoops, sorry. So this is where you may make a public comment about any matter that is within the subject matter jurisdiction of the City Council, including items on the agenda. And you're limited to 3 minutes.
Good evening. Last week, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled 6-3 in favor of Grants Pass, affirming cities' rights to regulate encampments in public spaces without violating the 8th Amendment's prohibition against cruel and unusual punishment. Grants Pass public camping ordinance does not criminalize status. The public camping laws prohibit actions undertaken by any person. It makes no difference whether a person is homeless, a backpacker on vacation, or a student who abandons his dorm room to camp on a municipal building. Gavin Newsom said, "This ruling provides officials the definitive authority to implement and embrace policies to clear encampments, removing the legal ambiguities that have held the hands of officials and limited their ability to deliver common sense measures to protect the safety and well-being of communities." Manhattan Beach already has a comprehensive approach that works for those who are homeless and want help. Manhattan Beach has a dedicated outreach worker, trained police officers, and accesses shelter beds, and MB Safe, a nonprofit that assists people who are homeless. In conjunction, the city must enforce laws to address public health and safety related to our public spaces. The presence of encampments have not gone unnoticed in Manhattan Beach, from tents along Sepulveda to individuals living in vehicles or on public beaches, parks, lawns, lifeguard towers, garages, and some lingering for years. We know that people don't get better living on the street. We know people die on the street. Looking forward, I would like to understand how the Grants Pass ruling impacts local regulations, understanding what constitutes camping. We've had a lot of discussions about what camping is and what camping isn't. Do you need a tent to camp? And under local ordinances, and how these laws will be enforced. Will enforcement be complaint-driven or proactive? Will it operate around the clock? Clarifying definitions, enforcement strategies, and ensuring safe public spaces that protect the community, our sensitive environment, and sensitive areas like schools and parks will be paramount. Thank you very much, and happy 4th.
Great. Thank you, Lee.
Hello, City Council. My name is Scott Yanofsky. I've been here a couple of times to talk about the 9/11 project. It looks like the city is starting to work on the plaques. They've taken one off. A suggestion that they put a frame around it. And who will I talk to about working with them, working with the city? Is there any particular person?
You can address that to Public Works.
Okay. Also, I'd like to see the city put a camera up there so we can see what goes on in the middle of the night when people are taking plaques off. Also, I understand that the city, through the parks, through the Arts Department or Arts Commission, has a tremendous amount of money available to paint murals all over the city, which are going to have to be repainted in 5 years. I would like to see some of that money go towards the 9/11 project to refurbish it. And the concrete needs to be sealed, concrete needs to be repaired, and where they chipped away at it, that needs to be repaired. Also, excuse me, I'd like to see the consultant's report for the parking lot in City Hall here, when they decide to take away the parking from the public and make it all for the city employees and city equipment, because that's a tremendous amount of parking that was lost in one shot. So if we have a consultant's report on that, I'd like to see that. Also, 6 o'clock in the morning, 3 days a week, I'm at Noah's Bagel, watching the trash company come. One truck comes, he takes the recycle bin, dumps it in the trash truck. He takes the regular trash, dumps in the trash truck. So why are we separating trash if it's all going in the same place? Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, next, anybody else? How about online?
There's no request on Zoom.
Okay, so seeing no others, we're going to close public comments and go on to the consent calendar. We have a motion to approve.
Motion to approve items 2 through 6, Your Honor.
Thank you. And so that's moved by Councilmember Montgomery and then seconded by Councilmember Lesser.
Motion passes 5-0.
Okay. So we move on. There's no public hearings. Item J. Item K. Oh, I think, sorry. Items, so item A, items removed from the consent calendar. There are none. You're welcome, Lisa. Item J, public hearings. There are none. So item K, general business. So item number 7 is consideration of a resolution approving an agreement with the Chamber of Commerce in the amount of $67,300 for the North Manhattan Beach Business Improvement District Management and Executive Coordination Services.
Honorable Mayor Franklin, members of the City Council, George Gabriel, Assistant to the City Manager. I can provide a report if you'd like. Otherwise, I'm available for questions. I would leave it up to your deference. What would you like?
Not for me.
I don't have any questions, Your Honor.
Any questions? No? Thank you.
I have a question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
George, I wanted to confirm the amount that's held in the parking fund for the benefit of the North Manhattan Beach bid.
Yeah.
At last counting of it, I believe in February, there was about $350,000 or so in the account.
So the proposed amount of this contract is 60. I just want to confirm what the amount of the contract is and the
Yes.
amount of the contribution by the city from the parking fund.
The annual assessments are at about $25,000 per year. It's the estimate that the assessments provide to the parking fund from the businesses. The contract is worth $67,300. I should note is that that's obviously the maximum value of the contract. We have a contract currently in place, and the contract has only been utilized at about half that clip. So it's only been utilized at about, I think about $35,000 or so of the $67,000 value. So we don't expect that value to be utilized. Obviously, it's a not to exceed amount, but it's just to provide the bid more flexibility in case it's needed.
Okay. I asked the question because there's the North MB bid budget that's attached as an attachment, and I just wanted to better understand how this contract's going to impact that budget, because was this in the amount budgeted, or is this an add-on?
It was.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
No other questions? So, public comments? Unless anybody? On here, Martha, Zoom?
There's no request on Zoom.
Okay, so public comments are closed. Council, any discussion? We do have a motion to approve this by Councilmember Montgomery.
Yes, Your Honor. This is a simple function, North Manhattan Beach, BID, taxing themselves 80% of their annual license fee, and they, like I said, $25,000 a year comes from them, comes to their businesses, so it's self-taxing. We just hold the money in the parking fund. Pretty straightforward. And the rest of it, their coordination services, until a nonprofit corporation is established, is pretty straightforward. Now I'll move to adopt resolution number 24-0080.
Okay, and that's seconded by Mayor Pro Tem Haworth.
Motion passes 5-0.
Great, thank you very much. And moving on to item 8, consideration of a resolution approving the proposed fiscal year 2024-2025 Chamber of Commerce Work Plan Agreement in the amount of $29,585. George
Again,
Gabriel.
Honorable Mayor Franklin, members of the City Council, George Gabriel, Assistant to the City Manager. Again, at your deference, I can provide I can provide a detailed report if you'd like. But in essence, this report comes back to the City Council on an annual basis. It's the Chamber's work plan items. This year it's valued at $20,585. If you have any more specific questions, I can answer those.
Okay, any questions? Councilmember Lesser.
I had one, and that is listed under local marketing. There's going to be a location analytics and marketing analysis report that's going to utilize artificial intelligence software. What is that?
I'd be happy to tell you that. So there's actually a software out there called Placer AI that the city staff has been utilizing from the chamber. The city contributes a portion of that contract, and in essence, what it does is it gathers real-time analytics that are provided by software providers. Whenever you allow your location to be accessed by certain software developers, well, Placer AI gathers that data and then puts it in producible reports. And we have been utilizing those reports for special events in order to have a better understanding of how many visitors, how long they spend in the downtown area, travel routes. It's fairly detailed and really interesting, and we're at the very beginning precipice of utilizing it, and it's a really helpful tool for not only businesses, the chamber, but also staff particularly, so you know what's going on at these events particularly.
Thank you.
Okay. Open for public comments. Anybody on Zoom?
No request on Zoom.
Okay, we'll close public comments. Colleagues, any questions or discussion?
I'll make a motion, Your Honor. Again, this is the Chamber. Most of you know, the Chamber does more than just welcome new businesses here. They host the mayor's annual State of the City, which everyone goes to. 400 plus members. I can tell you, everybody shows up. I think David's done a good job with it, getting it bigger and bigger throughout the whole South Bay. We appropriated more money for it in the past, but they're only asking for $30,000, which is not to exceed. 29,585, which is fantastic, because David's done a good job of bringing outside money, sponsorship in. In the old days, we saw hundreds of thousands of dollars. Remember those days, Bruce? $100,000 plus from the city, and David's done a good job bringing outside money. So thank you for that, David. The more money you bring from the outside means less the city's got to pump in to help you as a partner. So we appreciate that. So with that, I'll move to approve resolution number 24-0081.
Okay, and seconded by Mayor Pro Tem Amy Haworth.
Yep. That's true. Those were bigger numbers.
Much bigger numbers. We're not going backwards either.
Motion passes 5-0.
Okay. So now on to item L, Council City Requests and Reports, including AB 1234.
Unless Bruce has something, I've got one. Nothing. I've got one. I attended as their guest it's called the National Association of Latino Elected Officials, NALEO, and with it for the first time, former council member David Ryu from LA is now the executive director for the Asian American Pacific League Pacific League. They have their own split-off organization for Asian American Pacific, and everybody from the feds, from Judy Chu to our state officials were there, even local officials were there. So they did a combo at the same time, and they were kind enough, Bruce, to waive their registration fees for me to go and attend a double header in the same place, same time. It's amazing what you get done when you talk to someone one-on-one. There's a staff around, from Mayor Suchi to Ted Lieu, and everybody with their brother was there. We thought it was great. So I'm glad we got to represent our city while we're there. And now we know next year they'll come to us and look for actually someone to pay for it. But for now, they waived it. I'm glad I went, and that was it.
Terrific. Thank you. Any others? No? Item M, future agenda items. Anybody have it? No?
Said Luke.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Just, and I don't know if this is a future agenda item as much as a request through council, of course, but this whole idea of the shuttle, while I appreciate the effort that went into it, the work and collaboration, there are a few reminders here, right? We're talking, I just got it confirmed that there are 56 spaces at the top of Lot 3 that will be missing. The city, some years ago when they put in Metlocks, put in double the amount of parking required for Metlocks. In fact, quite a bit more than that. And we've added a lot of parking to downtown in conjunction with that. So this loss of 56 spaces, which coincidentally I believe is the same as was during outdoor dining, which we did not provide a shuttle for. And so my problem with shuttles is they're usually very poorly used among folks, because it's $50,000 for the shuttle service, but we're going to have to, my guess is, spend money as well on full-page ads and other things to tell people that it exists and that it's available for them and encourage them to use it. But again, going back to monitoring it, I would like to see this very honestly and strictly monitored so that we know exactly what the ridership is on every day that it's in service. Because by the time 6-man comes around, and if those numbers are so low as to make it not worth its while, then we should cut it off before the end of the contract, because it's just, I don't want to be throwing money at something that no one's going to use. And that's been our experience with shuttles in the past. I hope it's not the experience here, but if it is, then we should make adjustments along the way. That's what I would ask. Direction be that we monitor what the usage is and that we're willing to cut it off if need be before, if it's not being used.
I'll be the second for that, but with the comments to go along with it. Bruce, we have the right, I mean, I'm glad we did the right thing. We saved it. It was the right call, no doubt about it. We have the right to cancel the contract anytime with the notice.
I'm waiting to
30 days, though, right?
Well, I'm waiting to get what that time frame is. It is a very short-term contract to begin with, so I'll try to get you an answer here shortly.
I'll be the second for it so we can find out what the details. But it's a good idea.
Okay. Councilmember Lesser.
I just want to confirm with the city attorney, to what extent can we offer direction to the city manager on this item that's not on the agenda?
Yeah, you could, an item like this, and you're just telling him to do the metrics. I don't know what that would take. How many hours would that take? Or
I would simply echo the comments of my colleagues with regard to, one, how are we marketing it, and does that not add cost? Two, what is the ridership, so we can keep track of this, particularly if we're running this thing and very few people are on it. Some of us on this council have tried shuttles before, and they've been of mixed success, even with a full marketing blitz. So I commend staff for looking for alternative solutions and trying to do so quickly, given the loss of parking downtown. But on the other hand, a shuttle has always been a mixed proposition.
And to that point, one of the side benefits to the routing that we have for this is that the mall would be one of the stops because there may be some parking available up there as well. And so there would be the opportunity for people to go from downtown to the mall, as well as people that are utilizing parking.
But the problem with that, it just takes it longer to get
It's a 20-minute round trip.
That's a long time for people to want to get downtown.
So Mayor, at this time, since it's not on the agenda, Bruce says you can do this. And so it doesn't need to go through a 3-step process. The staff will do the metrics and find out the riders, et cetera.
Well, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so
Mayor
I mean,
Pro Tem Haworth.
I think that, though, it's more than just the metrics. I mean, I think there's a longer discussion, a broader discussion, and I know that the Downtown Business Association is looking at something or would like to, explore something that's not necessarily through the city, but that regardless of what's going on, this was not driven by that. I think there still should be a discussion. I don't think we should just put it off. It's just give us the metrics. So if I may, Mr. City Attorney, and to the two of you, would you still want to have? I think we should still have the discussion. It's not just about, oh, this is $50,000. Do we want to spend that? I think it's a bigger discussion. Yes.
No.
No. Okay.
Because I'll say why. Because this, I know exactly. I already foresee this. We've gone through this before. This isn't the first time. I understand the downtown wants a shuttle, and we've gone through what iterations those would be. Because a call service would be $1 million a year. We had that study. We had that proposal. A shuttle itself, a fixed shuttle, has proven to be something that people don't use because it takes too long. You could park at Pacific or even closer than that, and you'll be downtown in 10 minutes. If you're doing a loop of 20 minutes, I don't see that as workable. And I'm just going off what our experience has been in the past. We seem to go down this road every decade or so. And you guys can continue to, because after December, I won't be the one saying that we've gone through this before. That's where institutional memory is both a benefit and a burden, because
that's true.
Yeah, but again, we're doing the same things. If there's efficiencies or something like that, great. But this is specific to this. I understand, but it will give keeping those metrics is important so you can see whether folks would be using this. Because if you're hitting the high point of summer with reduced parking downtown, then you'll know when people are going to use a shuttle more than any other time probably. And if this isn't successful, then yeah, it's an indicator. But keep the metrics, do it. But no, I get but do I want to do a broader discussion of a shuttle in the future as well? No.
No, okay.
Because I think that costs a lot of money. I think that's going to take a whole lot of effort. And, there's downtown, but there's North End. There's the mall.
Yeah.
Where does it stop? Where's a fixed point shuttle service in Manhattan Beach from Herman years ago to other things? It's been tried 3 different times and failed each time.
So giving no opinions, et cetera, I'll just leave it with, that's great, now I understand. I would say certain things are worth revisiting every 5 or 10 years because technologies change, patterns change, and who knows, but I'm fine not bringing it up for a future agenda at this moment. Just wanted to clarify, thank you.
Sure, and then, so I just have a quick question. Which lot is it exactly at Pacific Schools? Is it the one off of 17th?
17th and Pacific.
Okay.
Yes.
Is it going to be monitored? Is someone going to be there determining who comes in and out and anything like that?
Don't believe so. I think it'll just be signed.
Okay. It's a lot of construction taking place.
I was just going to say, there's a lot of construction going on there. There's like 3 major, huge homes being built. And who's going to keep those construction workers off the street and not going in there? So that we may, lose some there. So that's just the point I wanted to.
And if I can clarify, I jumped the gun on the mall stop. It's not part of the original plan yet. But if we were to have parking at the mall in addition to other locations, then that would be a stop. But as it stands right now, it's just 10th and Manhattan and the Civic Center and then the parking lot.
Well, it's not really having parking at the mall. It's people will park at the mall who want to go to the mall, and then they want to jump on that to go downtown as well.
Yeah. True, but I just want to clarify, it's not part of the plan right now.
Okay. Was that your position to speak?
I have no idea anymore.
Okay. So, Councilmember Montgomery.
I cede my time.
For the record, I want to clarify the group I talked about, Asian Pacific American Leadership Foundation, because I got it messed up. That was a sister of NALEO. This is a new group by the former LA Councilmember David Ryu, Asian Pacific American Leadership Foundation. So I know it's a lot, but I didn't say it correctly the first time. So for the record, that's what it was. Asian Pacific American Leadership Foundation. There, I'm good.
Great.
Thank you.
Moving on to City Manager report.
No report tonight. Thank you.
Okay. City Attorney report.
Nothing tonight.
Okay. Informational items, none. Minutes. And then, so we are going to adjourn into the closed session.
We're actually going to, yes, we're going to reconvene. We'll adjourn. We'll take a recess on the 6 o'clock meeting and reconvene the 5 o'clock meeting.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, thank you. We're leaving closed session, and City Attorney Barrow, you have a statement to make?
Yes, I do have an announcement. The City Council went back into closed session. The items identified on the 5 o'clock agenda, they gave direction to the city manager and the city attorney. At this time, it would be appropriate to adjourn the 5 o'clock meeting and then reconvene the 6 o'clock meeting.
Okay, so we adjourn the 5 o'clock meeting, come back into the 6 o'clock meeting, and we're going to adjourn.
At this time, yes, we'll be adjourning to 4:30 on the 16th, July 16th.
July 16th.
So go ahead and adjourn.
Thank you. It's adjourned.